PlayStation Experience 2016 was pretty good, featuring some really exciting announcements and updates. And Knack 2. Most exciting of all though was the announcement that The Last of Us 2 is a real thing that's actually happening. It was announced by way of this atmospheric trailer reintroducing us to Ellie as a rather angry and ruthless teenager. Unsurprisingly, the trailer got the internet's gums flapping like nobody's business, so what did we see, and what can it tell us about The Last of Us 2? Let's have a look. Be warned though, this video does contain spoilers from The Last of Us, so if you haven't already played it, turn back now.
'Cause I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.
First of all, in The Last of Us 2, Ellie's gone and got herself a tattoo, hopefully under sterile conditions because the post-apocalypse is pretty grubby. Crucially, the butterfly and fern design covers up her bite mark, suggesting Ellie's done some growing over the last 5 years and wants to put some distance between herself and that element of her past, which, let's face it, is pretty understandable. A cool detail, by the way, this tattoo was designed by artist Natalie Hall, who also ended up being the hand model for Ellie. According to Neil Druckmann on Twitter, Naughty Dog developed a brand new hand scanning technique for it, which is partly why the guitar playing looks so realistic. You've got to hand it to them really, it's pretty impressive. As the trailer goes on, we see Ellie is playing guitar in a house full of freshly murdered people. Ellie herself has a cut on her head, strongly suggesting she was the one what did the killings. If you take the symbol spray painted on a road sign outside into account, these people are, or at least were, almost certainly Fireflies, the militia you'll remember from The Last of Us. There's also a machete on the floor next to Ellie, which is presumably what she used to dispatch the people in the house. It's a neat detail, harking back to the scene in The Last of Us in which Ellie is forced to kill actual cannibal Nolan North, or rather David, with a machete. After that killing, Joel comforts her, and it's a pretty pivotal scene in her character development. Having her use the same method so, well, effectively in The Last of Us 2 is a pretty punchy way of showing how much her experiences have changed her. But what exactly is spurring her on? I mean, the Fireflies were going to operate on her and reverse engineer a vaccine for the infection, killing her in the process, but then Joel lied and told her they'd actually given up on finding the cure at all and were going to kill her needlessly. We'll get back to Joel's revelation in a second, but for the time being, is that enough to sustain Ellie's rage for 5 whole years and send her on a mission to
Kill every last one of them,
as she so eloquently puts it? What if there's something else, some event that happens at the start of The Last of Us Part 2 that sets her on this path for revenge? If there is, there's a good chance it's something to do with Joel. Speaking at PSX, Neil from Naughty Dog said, if in the first game the theme was the love between Ellie and Joel, this story is the counter of that. It's about hate. But what's happened? Is Ellie still convinced the Fireflies weren't looking for a cure after all when they nearly killed her? She might have found out about Joel lying to spare her feelings, but then if that's the case, why would she be trying to hunt down the Fireflies at all? Her anger might be tied into the survivor guilt she's been shown to exhibit before, but either way, I'd put money on her primary motivation stemming from an as yet unseen event. Whatever the answer, there's definitely some thinking to do on the exact nature of Ellie and Joel's relationship in The Last of Us 2. Joel only speaks a few words in the trailer in which he asks,
"What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?"
and his tone is kind of weary and reluctant, standing in sharp contrast to the hateful determination with which Ellie talks about finding and killing a whole bunch of people. It certainly seems like the power dynamic has shifted in their relationship, with Ellie now leading Joel somewhere he just doesn't want to go. Doubtless the strength of their bond will be tested over the course of The Last of Us 2, and it'll be exciting, if a little scary, to see how dark things get. Speaking of things getting dark, Ellie's hand shakes at the start of the trailer before she calms it down and starts playing guitar. And this has left some people wondering whether it's a sign of some kind of change in the infected part of her brain. Has her condition altered somehow? It's possible, but then, of course, if she's just killed a whole house full of people, it's more than likely she's just full of adrenaline and is taking a moment to calm down. That said, I don't know anybody who could kill a whole house full of people and then calm down enough to play guitar in a matter of seconds. At least I really, really hope I don't. While we're talking about the guitar playing, actually, the song she's singing is Through the Valley by Sean James. We could spend a minute analysing what the lyrics might mean, but I think we all got there ourselves, to be honest, didn't we?
In my mind, my gun, they comfort me.
Now, while Ellie's playing this macabre little ditty, she's sat next to a window, and this might be a bit of a stretch, but some fans reckon it's a nod to the menu screen from The Last of Us, which showed, well, a window. Does it have any bearing on the story? Almost certainly not, but it's a nice detail all the same. And finally, in this little walk through The Last of Us 2 trailer, we've saved the weirdest theory for last. See, a good portion of the internet is convinced that while Joel will be accompanying Ellie on her journey of revenge, he won't be doing it in any literal, corporeal sense, because he's dead. And it's true we don't see him from the front at any point during the trailer, and he sort of fades in from the outside as he approaches the house, but does that make him a figment of Ellie's imagination? The jury is decidedly out on this one, and the Last of Us fan community is very much split over it. A lot of people have spoken out quite angrily against the theory, saying it's simply too cheesy to be viable. I happen to agree. With all apologies to George Lucas, having Joel as a ghostly, beardy spirit guide does seem a little bit too cheesy to be palatable. So fingers crossed this one turns out to be a load of bunk. And there you have it, a bunch of things we pulled from The Last of Us 2 announcement trailer and what it all might mean. If you spotted something we missed, feel free to share your theories in the comments below. Hopefully you found this video interesting. If you did, we've got plenty more of them. Do consider liking and subscribing, but honestly there's no pressure either way. Just have a lovely day. Bye!
I'm gonna find. And I'm gonna kill every last one of them.